Infor acquiring the product here 3 years ago or so, to have a nice new emphasis on the product, with Infor injecting quite a bit of energy and development dollars and resources to the product. So we're excited to see the progress that's been made over the past few years, and now that the integration pieces between CRM and the Infor ERPs is really taking shape. We're excited that there's a good offering to have that full 360-degree view of your customer information as well as your ERP side. Just to give a quick highlight of what I'm expecting to do here during the call today, I have a short slide presentation that we'll go through. If you have any questions, as also mentioned, go ahead and throw those up on the questions on the webinar. We'll go ahead and answer any that come up during the slide presentation, and then we'll jump into a demo to kind of show the product, the various ways of accessing the CRM information, whether that's mobile, through Outlook, or through a web client interface. And then we'll have additional time for question and answers at the end. CRM has been around as sales logic since the mid-90s. Currently, there's over 2,500 customers of Infor CRM with over 100,000 users globally. And it actually is designed, the reason Infor decided to add CRM to the portfolio was to really round out that service offering, where right now you have your core ERP functionality. CRM brings that full circle view, from the prospecting, lead generation, and opportunity management, as well as after the sales on the services side as well. So customer service, support tickets, all that functionality available within the CRM application. One of the key things for today's webinar that was going to be talking about savings that you can accomplish with CRM, and one of the key areas of that is the old adage, that costs a lot less to keep a customer than to get a new one. And what we're finding with customers that implement CRM and are successful with CRM is they see an increase in their customer retention rates. And as we all know, it's certainly less expensive to keep your current customers happy, having that full view of all the communications and contact that you have with that customer, and empowering your CRM users with not only the communications through whether it's email, phone calls, keeping all that tracked in your contact management system, as well as having the ability to see into the ERP side through the integration with status updates on shipping issues or whatever kind of order issues and things like that that may be happening with your customers. On the sales side, we also see an increase in salesperson's ability to meet and exceed quotas, as well as an increase in the growth rate of the customer renewals when you're using a CRM along with your ERP. Infor CRM has had quite a bit of recognition in the industry, whether it's through Gartner or some of the other companies that analysts out there. So over the years, there's been quite a bit of good press, as well as a nice stable of customers that are using the system. So in several different industries, manufacturing, distribution, there's quite a number of customers that are using the system. One differentiator for CRM is the number of ways that you're able to utilize the system. And one of the keys with Infor CRM is using CRM where you are. So whether you're inside of Outlook, whether you're on your mobile device, whether you're inside of in a full client browser interface, one of the design goals of CRM is that you're able to use the tool where you're at without having to jump from one system to another. And that's just going to be more and more the focus of Infor as they build out the integrations with Ion that we've talked about, the Mingle initiatives that they have. All that's designed to really bring the work to the person where they are in the interface they're on the device that they're using to really streamline the experience. This is just a little bit of a schematic of the the basic building blocks of the different applications. So currently with your existing Infor apps, they tie into ION, which is a back office platform that enables workflow as well as integration between the various Infor applications. So whether it's BI, CRM, the ERP applications, all those are tied together through ION, and it's what really binds together and distributes all the information between the various systems. Another enabler in ION is the workflow piece, which can really bring a lot of good automation to your business processes. With CRM, as we talked about, it's available through a mobile client interface, it's available through Outlook, it's available through a web client. And so one of the nice things with the way that CRM has developed their mobile strategy is it's inside of a browser on your device, whether it's Android or BlackBerry. And because it's not an app that needs updating, it's a browser-based tool. We're able to customize that, and those changes sync straight out to the devices without any kind of IT effort to update the device or update the app or maintain an app or anything like that. So it's a very nice interface formatted for your device, and again, any HTML5 compatible mobile browser, whether it's Android, Windows Phone, iPhone, will work with that. And what's great about it is it also leverages some of the functionality of your phone, your native mapping, email, phone dialing. All of that is leveraged by the CRM application. One very nice feature is the XBar piece inside of Outlook, and we'll certainly take a look at that during the demonstration portion. As you're going from email to email, on the right-hand side in the XBar panel, the system's constantly going over to CRM, pulling up the relevant matching contacts based on the email, so you can easily access and see the CRM information around any of your incoming emails and take action. Create a new contact, create a new support ticket, add new opportunity. Take action right from your email where you're at. So it makes it very seamless as you're working through your email requests to update that information inside of CRM. Of course, there's full analytics and dashboarding within the system, and it's fully customizable for you. And inside of the full web client interface that we see here, we have access to all of the relevant ERP data. You may see during the presentation and the demonstration information that you might not want to share with your users, just from a security standpoint, and making sure the correct information is made available to the users. That's all fully configurable, so if you don't want to see payments or invoices, but you want to make shipments available, these types of things, fully configurable as far as what information is made available to CRM from ERP. In addition to your contact management and sales forecasting and sales opportunity management, CRM also has a full customer service, customer support set of functions. So whether it's support tickets and managing your customer issues through a ticketing system to handling defects and returns and those types of things, there's a full suite of customer support components available inside the CRM as well. And then, like many of the other CRM tools, there's a full suite of marketing capability, the ability to have e-marketing as well as managing marketing campaigns, trade shows, and those types of activities. And what's really nice about the way CRM handles that as far as your actual marketing campaigns you're able to track the campaign, the cost of the campaign, the budget for all the different components of the campaign, and then you're also able to identify then the opportunities that came out of that particular effort. So you may do a trade show, you had expenses of $7,500 related to that trade show, and you're able to see, okay, we received from that trade show 17 opportunities, of which 10 of those were converted over, and we have netted $100,000 in sales out of that. So you do get a very nice full view of the marketing campaign efforts and return on investment. Like I said, there's a full dashboarding system where users can actually add their own widgets as well and really customize the look and feel of their dashboard so that it bubbles up all the key metrics that are important to them as they go throughout their day. So if they're wanting to see information about customers that they haven't contacted within a certain period of time, or opportunities that are going to be closing this month, or activities that are overdue, they don't need to go to several different areas. They can have all of that placed onto one dashboard, so it's right there, easy to take action on, and the information that they need to take action on is bubbled up to the top, so they're not having to search through the system to try and identify the various customers and issues that they need to be taking care of. One thing that we're really priding ourselves on is our QuickStart initiative. So we are targeting a 30-day implementation of CRM integrated with ERP as a very streamlined offering. And so when it's appropriate in the timeline of discussion with various prospects, we just want to make sure you're aware that that's something that we're very focused on, is a very quick, seamless, out-of-the-box implementation. That's really an overview of the, kind of the system at a top high level. And I wanted to go ahead now and basically show you, a lot of the pieces we had just talked about. I don't see that there's any questions that have come up as part of that presentation. So if there are no questions, I'll just go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to start kind of from a perspective of a day in the life of a salesperson as they're working with the system. And they may first come into their mobile device, and I'm sharing my iPad here, so you can see inside of my iPad I'm looking at my schedule, and I can see I've got 3 different things going on today. I've got a to-do to review last quarter sales with John from Ellington Tool. I also have a phone call coming up with Matt from Alpine Mountain, and then I have a timeless activity where I need to get a list of users to convert for an opportunity I'm working on with Abbott Limited. So I'm going to, as I'm preparing to call Matt here on this product launch, I'm just going to go ahead. Before I make that call, I just want to take a minute to get a feel for what's going on with Alpine Mountain, because I haven't done anything with them for a little while. So I can click on the account, and I can actually drill into Alpine Mountain Homes. Now note, oops, my screen is not keeping up for some reason. One moment. Get the mirroring turned back on. All right, here we go. It's coming back on. Well, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So for some reason, my air server for my iPad's not working. So what I'm going to do is, because it's a HTML5 browser-based mobile interface, I can actually come over here to my browser and show what it would look like inside of my browser. So this is the same mobile interface that we were just looking at, and except that instead of being on my iPad, it's just here within a local browser on my computer. So again, as we were saying, here's my schedule for the day, and what we were talking about was going ahead and looking at getting ready to call Matt on this product launch at Alpine Mountain Homes. So what I want to do is just go ahead and click on that and take a look at what's going on with Alpine Mountain. Notice on this top part here, I have all kinds of quick actions I can take with them. I can schedule an activity. I can promote them if they're not an ERP customer right now. I can promote them over to the ERP system to be onboarded. I can add a quote or an order. I can also view accounts nearby in case I was going out there to look at to visit them, and I could see maybe there's another customer nearby that I could swing by and visit on that same trip. But if I look at the related items, I can see what's been happening with these guys. I see there's a ticket, so before I go and make this call, let me just take a look at that in case it's something that I want to, they might want to ask about when I call. So I see here it's a complaint, late delivery, have not received order ending in 6472. So I might just go over real fast since I'm on here. I can see the related ERP items, and let's just look at the shipments. And I can now see, okay, here's that order, it has not shipped yet. It's been released, it hasn't shipped yet. Notice this other one right below it has shipped already. I can click in, I can see the ship date, the delivery date, how it was shipped and everything right here from inside of CRM. So I'm not having to go into my ERP system to get this information, be able to answer the customer's questions. I can see all of that within the CRM application. It's not going to look quite the way I wanted it to since I'm on my phone, but what you can do is also anything that's hyperlinked. I can click on the phone call, for example. If I was on my phone, it would bring up my dialer. Here it's asking me on my computer how I would like to make that call. And that leads me right on the complete phone call activity screen. And as I'm sure you're aware, on an Apple or Samsung device, you're able to just click the microphone when you're inside of like a notes field like this on your keyboard and just dictate in the notes from that particular phone call. So a very easy and straightforward way for a salesperson to be able to make the call, dictate in the notes, and save and complete that activity. In addition to the mobile client interface, you do have as well a full web client interface that is the main application interface for CRM. So as I log in, the very first thing I'm taken to is my dashboard. And here I have a dashboard that I've created that's just for me, where I have just the items I want to look at. So I can see the activities I've completed, I can see my open opportunities, as well as some list views of some various groups like my top opportunities and my pipeline. And I can then, anything again that's hyperlinked, I can drill straight in and take a look at that particular record. So I could look at Abbott Worldwide. I can take a look at this particular sales opportunity. And I can then take whatever action I need to for this opportunity as it's coming up. And one of the very powerful things is you're also able to, and it's very easy to configure as an administrator, doesn't take any development or anything, identify the sales processes. So at a glance, anybody can see what state this opportunity is in, how far through the sales process I am. It'll automatically update the percentage, as you can see here. As I work through the opportunity, it's automatically updating the close probability, which is then updating my weighted forecasted sales as I combine my entire pipeline with the close probability. If we have a good correlation and knowing that as we're in these different stages and we've got our probability pre-locked in, we can get do a good job of forecasting what opportunities or what total sales we're going to have from the pipeline. And you can also add them to your forecast to specifically say this particular opportunity is one that we are going to close in this period. Again, anything that's a hyperlink, I can jump straight over to, so I can go out to Abbott Worldwide. And as I was explaining in the mobile side where I could see accounts that are near me, if you remember on our schedule, one of them was to actually do a meeting at Abbott Worldwide. So in the lower right-hand corner over here, oops, logged on as the wrong user. Let me just log on as the administrator user where I have this configured. If I go to Abbott, again, there's multiple ways to get to things. Look up Abbott. And you go to Abbott Limited this time. On the right-hand side here, I can say accounts nearby. And this will give me a search result of, in this case, 10 miles is the default, but you can certainly change that. Here's all the accounts within 10 miles, and I could then even display a map. And I could see if I wanted to plan a trip, visit Abbott Limited, I could also then target some of these other specific customers that are within easy driving distance. So a very nice contour search is what this is called, ability to zero in on customers that are nearby that you might want to visit as well. All right. The third way, we've talked about mobile, and we've talked about the client interface here. The additional way of accessing CRM information is within Outlook. So if I'm inside of Outlook, you will see that we have over on the right-hand side this XBar panel. And as I go from one email to another, you're going to see that it's querying over to CRM and it's pulling up information relevant to the emails that match. For this demonstration, I've linked my email to Matt Smith's contact record. So because I'm on this email, I can see here's the account, phone number, information about this account inside of CRM. I can drill into the account, get more information. Here again is that same ticket we saw on the mobile side. If this email had something to do with maybe another issue or a new sales opportunity, I can simply click on these boxes, create a new ticket right here, or I could create a new opportunity. Any of these action boxes here show several different things I can do with somebody inside of Outlook without having to go out to the CRM system and do those activities. I can do it all straight within Outlook. In the same way, if I click on Ashley here, you'll notice that Ashley does not have the account information or any of the other information. So that tells me that she is not currently inside the CRM system. So if I scroll down this email, I see here in her signature, I can just highlight that, drag it over, and it'll prompt me now what do I want to do. I can create a new contact. And notice it's already populated in from that email, Ashley Williams. It's got her title. There's multiple phone numbers here. So what it does is it gives you the chance to select which of the phone numbers that it found in that signature block to associate with the home phone or the mobile phone. So in this case, I'm just going to clear out the mobile or the home. I'm going to make sure that the cell phone is matched, which it is, and the office, perfect. Email address came in, and the account wasn't in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and type the account in and click Save. Oh, did not find the account. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. So there we go. So now you can see it actually is now linked at Emrys. Here's her, and all her information is within the system. And we can see that in the full client as well. This little box with the arrow coming out. If I need more, if there's some functionality I can't do within the Outlook interface, I can just click the icon here to jump to that record inside of the CRM system. my default browser was not the same as the one I was just using, so now it's going to have me log in here. But as soon as I do, it's going to go to a record. Well, what did I do wrong is the question. Must have had something not quite right set up when I pointed this, pointed my XBar to this demo database. I'm just looking up that new account we just created called Immerus. There it is. I click on it. And here we see the Immerus account that just got created through XBar. And the contact will be there as well as soon as it comes up. I should not have tried to have pasted that in there. Sorry about that. Click on Immerus. And I can see under contacts. And here's Ashley that we just added from within the XBar application. So several ways to work with the data, and whether you're inside of Outlook, inside of your mobile client, or inside the full web client. So again, on the left-hand side here, I can see all of the different entities. So if there's a particular invoice I want to look up, I can click on Invoices, go to that entity, drill into the specific invoice I want. Same thing with any of the main entities here. And I can also jump straight to the account level if I prefer. So if I want to see everything related to Jonovich here, I can click on them, go to that account, and all of their information. I can see their customer ID, as well as like if they have a default warehouse set up, who their salespeople are, credit limits, all available inside the CRM application. And again, any of this information can be restricted if it's if it's not appropriate to you guys to have your salespeople seeing it. Bill to ship tos are in here, salespeople, as well as all of their invoices and sales orders, payments, all of that information. Again, we talked a little bit about the service side, coming in, seeing all your support tickets, being able to really manage, again, in a dashboard environment, you can have all the tickets that are assigned to that user so that they can highlight them, take action. Through workflow, we can send out notifications of overdue tickets so that we're making sure that if it's appropriate to escalate that ticket automatically because it hasn't been accomplished within the requested date, all of that's available through the ION piece as well. So with all the components combined between the ERP system, the ION interface in the middle, as well as the CRM piece, it really completes that full 360-degree view of the customer's interactions. So that really, in a nutshell, is the product. I hope you see how that fits in with the Infor story and the way it connects up and integrates through ION with your ERP, and that you can see that it really helps fill some of the gaps between the ERP side and the customer support and contact management sales efforts of your business. Elsa, did you have anything you'd like to add at this point?
No, not at this point. Were you going to show any of the analytics on today's call?
Oh, I did not have, I don't have the full analytics piece installed on this particular environment. We do have on the dashboards the ability to add in various widgets and graphs, so I can actually, as a user, I can come in here and add content whether that's a bar chart or a column, a funnel. Maybe you want to do your sales funnel showing the opportunities as they progress through. And you can then, what's great about the dashboard component is they're all built within the various groups that you've created inside the CRM. So for example, if I go to the opportunity entity, and then I look at the groups that I use there. So I may only want to show this for my open opportunities, and then you can select the dimension that you're working off of on that. So we'll do stage in this case. I can put some labels on there. The metric, then we can say let's just do an amount and say OK. And so every user is able to manipulate these themselves. That automatically adds that widget to the dashboard and will, if that group had any data, I should have, of course, checked it. Did not look like this one did, as a matter of fact. But like the sales potential one right here, where we've got some sales potential over the different opportunities, what's nice about that, I can actually drill down and work with the underlying data that makes up that particular widget. So now that that group or that sum of opportunity potential was based off the all opportunities group. I'm able now to do whatever work I want within that group, drill into the specific opportunities, and over on the right-hand side here, I'm still within that group. So I'm not in that, I don't have to toggle back and forth between the list view and the specific detail record. I can actually then scroll down, click on any particular record that I want. Also, if I wanted to do some manipulation of this information outside of the CRM application, maybe I wanted to take my potential opportunities and share those, do some manipulations with those inside of Excel. I can just go ahead and export that out and open it up inside of Excel, and that group then will be available to me in Excel as well. Take a second to process that export. But as I also was saying, there is also, there's the business intelligence pieces that Infor offers, as well as an advanced analytics package that's available for CRM. So there's any number of additional analytics tools that are available for CRM and your Infor ERP.
Scott, a question came through regarding quote tracking. I think we touched upon the service quote tracking in CRM and that capability.
Yeah, for sure. So you are able to, now the product information and pricing information is available from ERP syncing over to CRM, so you're not having to manage that in multiple places, as well as a real-time pricing and availability. So when you're doing a quote from the CRM side, it is actually confirming, pricing availability real-time from ERP. So you can actually create a quote either standalone or based off an opportunity. So if I'm on, and you can do it from the left menu, or if you're on the specific account already, you can then go ahead and just walk through and create the quote there. And so if I go here, more tabs, quotes. One thing that's nice is every user is able to kind of manage their interface. So you can see I've got a top detail section, I've got a series of tab views, and then I have some under more tabs that are some additional tabs that I don't have on my tab bar. It may be that that my preference is, let's say I don't care to see marketing and drag that down off the main bar, but I do want to see my quotes all the time on my menu, so I can just drag that up. And now quotes is right here on the menu. You can also, if there's a tab you want to see every single time you go to a record, you can drag that into this middle pane right here, let it go, and it'll lock it in and dock it. And so you can have a tab docked as well and then still have your tabs below. But to create a new quote, you'll see there's a plus sign right here. I can click that plus sign, and it will walk me through the quote creation process. I can do adjusted pricing and track that from CRM and have that populate over onto the ERP side.
Very good. Another question that came through is from the mindset of a general manager. If you had to show them one thing in CRM that makes their life easier, what would that be?
Well, certainly the ability to track, with quotes and forecasting, being able to have quotas set up for salespeople and manage that from a manager perspective of we have customers where you potentially have multiple managers of different teams of salespeople, and you're able to track all of that. And because again, these groups across the top, where here you see lookup results, all quotes, my quotes, you can have any number of groups here set up to slice and dice the data just the way you want. So you're able to zero in on the efforts that are going on within your staff. The same thing on the customer service side in particular, where you're dealing with response times and service levels, where you have an expectation or a business rule that says, if we get a new customer support request, we are saying we're going to respond to that within 24 hours or whatever your criteria is. Automated notifications of those overdue activities, those types of things are just really key. Same thing on the opportunity level, where if there's an opportunity that's due, that the close date's within 2 weeks, yet you haven't sent a quote out yet, having some automated notifications to the manager to help drive the attention where those exceptions are at. And that's kind of the bigger thing, is having the system bubble up and notify of records that are outside of what your standards are, so that the appropriate action can be taken.
Scott, can you go into the reports area a little bit and kind of show us what comes out of the box and the ability to have or create reports once you get the
Sure thing. Run? Sure thing. So within reports and Infor CRM, it leverages Crystal Reports, and you do receive a full developer license for Crystal Reports with the application, and so you're able to go in and create any number of reports. There's quite a number. It looks like 70 here. Let me double check that no filters are on. So there's 70 reports out of the box. You're able to, what's nice about this is you release them in the web interface here, and then it's easy to manipulate. You just want to look at account reports, for example. Maybe you just want to also look at opportunity reports. You can then, forecast by account manager. Of course, these are all completely customizable by you. You don't have, anybody that knows how to work with Crystal Reports, we basically do a training to show the CRM specific pieces of here's where the data lives, here's how it kind of relates to each other, here's how you release it so that it shows up in the client. But then from then on, you're able just to run these. You can have these set up to run on a schedule. So Monday morning you come in and specific reports have already been run automatically for you, and you're just able to open those up. So again, you have full control. These are, when you run these reports, they come up and they are presented either in a PDF or a Word document template or a spreadsheet format, depending on the nature of that specific report. But it's all based off of Crystal Reports environment. You can leverage, and so these are just your standard Crystal report prompts that you can add to any report. We're going to have this one come out as a PDF, and in the background now it's running. You can actually close this by complete. If it was a long-running report, you could close this, continue along, and then come back in. You'd actually receive a notification up on the top menu bar when the report's completed, so you can come back and open it. And again, on this particular demo environment, I'm not sure that our consultant has gotten that fully configured to run reports.
Okay, so that's one way a sales manager could look at their data or manage their sales team. Can you go back into opportunities and kind of show us how a sales manager would pull a pipeline of a rep, or how a rep themselves could easily pull their pipeline to see what they have going on for that quarter?
Yep, absolutely. So there's a combination of things. So you've got the concept of an estimated close date, and it's completely configurable under tools and then options. some of the opportunity defaults. When you first create an opportunity, for your sales cycle, that 30-day sales cycle, a 90-day sales cycle, it will automatically push out that estimated close date as you specify, but you can, of course, adjust that. Everything then would be based on the account manager, and you'll notice some of these groups where it's my open opportunities, for example. So that group has a criteria where it's filtered down. It's one group filtered by the account manager for this particular, now of course I'm logged in as admin and don't have any opportunities assigned to me, but you can see, and again, all these groups are very straightforward for you as a manager to come in and configure these. So you could have on these conditions where you're showing, if it's mine, so if I'm an individual sales rep, for example, I can see all of my opportunities that are I can do it for this month or this quarter, so I can see here's the ones that I've estimated I'm going to close by the end of this month, and you set that up through those filters. But once you set it up, it stays, so it's always going to be available to you, where you can just click on my opportunities this quarter, and it will show you all the opportunities, just like in a list like this with the estimated close date, and then you can drill into each of those, and you can also use the sales process criteria as well in those groups to really be able to filter it down to the ones you're wanting to, that need attention. Because some of the opportunities, everything's on track, the sales reps doing everything they need to do. You want to be able to see if there's an opportunity that is supposed to close this month, yet as we look at the sales process, they haven't even sent out a quote yet, delivered a proposal. You can have an automated, well, first you can have a group created like we just talked about, or receive an automated notification that these opportunities are supposed to close this month and they haven't met whatever this criteria is that you define as being on schedule for completion, deliver a proposal, for example.
Great. Switching gears a little, we've got a couple questions here. One in particular about security, and the question is there a way to prevent whoever is using CRM to be blocked from exporting data in Excel or any sensitive report?
Right. So you are able to disable the export here in this menu, as well as in the right-hand side over here, where if I'm in a list view, I'm on a detail record right now. If I was to go back up here and switch to a list view on the quick actions or common tasks, as they're called, there's an export there. You're able to turn both of those off. Of course, there's no way to prevent somebody from just taking screenshots from here or highlighting and selecting, copy and pasting the information, but you are able to turn off the ability to export. And then from a security standpoint, what records people have access to start with, that's controlled by the owner. In this case, this Abbott Limited is owned by the Midwest team. So only people that are part of the Midwest team are able to access this record. And so generally speaking, what we would end up doing is having, a lot of times we'll set up, like for, if the rep should only have access to their records, then they would have their team, and then we'd add to that team like a management team, an inside sales team, with the different people who should have access to a wider range of records, so that you can limit down a user's ability of what records they can even access to start with. So there's that's the ownership part of it. The exporting out to Excel and turning off those different export functions, as well as any other functionality, adding, being able to delete records or being able to promote an account from CRM to ERP, all that through the user roles, where you're able to turn on or off what functionality the different classes of users or specific users have, separate from the ownership and the ability to determine what records do they have the ability to see.
Great. Then another question that came through, this has to do with the service and sales opportunity part. For incident tracking, how can Infor CRM help with internal support tickets for products or alerting customers on issues in that area?
Absolutely. So there's a couple different things. So when you create a ticket, you are able to define it. There's a little hierarchy here to when you create a ticket, area, category, and issue, which is really how you define and break down the different types of incidences that you may have. And again, there's a very easy interface for you to modify these specific values. So here we can see a complaint. It's a sales complaint, and well, that's a finance complaint, and it's about payments or something like that. And the system can be set up to automatically filter the tickets to assign them to a team or a user that handles that type of complaint. So if it's an issue where it's a shipping issue, it can automatically be routed to be assigned to the shipping team or a specific user, either a team or a user, so that calls, so that customer support items are being routed automatically to the right queue. So that's one way. Then there's also this concept of urgency, and you're able to define a time frame, which is the needed by date right below here, based on the urgency of this particular request. So if it's a high, in this case, we can see it now has populated that in. This ticket was, based on when this was created, it would automatically, as you define, high might be an hour, and medium high might be the next day, and low might be 2 days after that. So we can see when I changed it to low, it pushed it out 3 days because it's less time sensitive. And then through workflow, these tickets then can automatically be emailed to the appropriate assigned user and for action. The second part I heard you say was, how could people be notified of kind of like more of a larger, what I heard you asking about was similar to the way defects work, where you're able to, inside of I don't see it on the screen here for some reason, under support, sorry, defects. This is where if you have, there's a concept under the account where you can have account products or assets, and you can identify a particular issue with a certain product or something like that, and automatically notify everybody that has that particular item or that particular issue. Or you've been tracking a bunch of support tickets around a certain thing, and there's multiple customers that impacts, and through the defect tracking, you could then update everybody on that particular, once that's been resolved globally, and everybody could be notified of that particular resolution. There's also the concept here inside of all the support and service pieces of standard problems and standard resolutions, so that you can actually find, based on a particular problem, the standard resolutions around that particular incident. So that helps with automating, especially as a kind of like a knowledge base then for users, so they're not all having to reinvent the wheel every single time they come across a particular issue.
Very good. And then I have another question for you, and this is regarding, I think, from the slides before the demo. When you had talked about the 30-day implementation, does that include the installation and configuration of ION, or is that assuming that that is already done?
Yeah, so ideally, yes, we would be able to deliver that within a 30-day time frame. Certainly less if ION was not involved, if it was not integrating. But we feel at this point that there's a couple scenarios depending on whether you are on the Infor Cloud Suite and through the cloud implementation, because in that case, Infor is doing a lot of the prep work of the actual deployment of the ION components and the CRM application, and so there's some time involved for them to get that configured. So if that takes, generally that's available within a few days. If that happens, then we're definitely on board to to complete that within a 30-day process. Other times, on-premise installations will depend on Guide to help with the implementation of the actual ION components, and we would then deploy all of the CRM. They're called BODs. Those are the actual configurations for how we sync accounts and how we sync contacts and how opportunities come across. So we would configure all that CRM integration. And again, it all comes down to scheduling, but We just wrapped one up that was 5 weeks after the order was placed, and they're live now with an ION integrated solution. Another one we just did was one where it was an on-premise with another partner, and it was 6 weeks. So we are seeing 5 to 6 weeks, but it could, if all the stars align, and as we get more experience and our ERP partners get more experience with the ION, because it is fairly new. The ION integration side with CRM, like I said, CRM was acquired 3 years ago, and they've been working diligently on getting this integration up and running to tie the systems together. And now it's a pretty stable place, and everybody's started to get a good base of experience with the product. So certainly it's doable 30, 45 days at the most.
Okay, great. Well, we are approaching our 3 o'clock end here. I do not have any more questions coming through. Scott, if you have any final closing remarks or any last questions, we can wrap it up.
No, I just want to say thank you for taking the time. I know it's you've got a lot of things on your pulling at you, and so I appreciate the chance to get this in front of you, and hopefully it's been educational, and you're able to kind of potentially see where CRM fits within your organization, and how it relates to on the Infor CRM the ERP side as well. And I certainly look forward to further discussions if there's an actual interest in digging deeper into what the solution can do for you.
Great. Well, with that, we'll end it. Thank you all for joining. And next month's Guide Tech Webex will be on the Guide product, Scan and Track. So keep an eye out for some invites on that. Thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend.